Yo mate, this is Vamsy from Player's Narrative Eye. Something that I love about the new Hitman games is that it's a stealth game that's not about hiding behind covers or being quiet. It's about hiding in plain sight, aka social stealth. Each level is varied and takes place in an exotic yet intricately designed location, like the fortress in Isle of Scale and the vibrant racetracks of Miami, or Sapienza from Season 1, which was a massive hit, man. It harkens back to the days of immersive sims, like with its gameplay objectives and the many ways it can be accomplished. In my opinion, it masterfully blends the emphasis of player-driven choices with level design techniques that make for creative and thrilling gameplay. So in this video, I'll take a look at one of the standout levels of Hitman 2 and see how Mumbai is designed. Mumbai features a large open space for the players to explore and stumble upon opportunities without you having to trespass into areas. This keeps the player engaged and thinking about ways to infiltrate or listen in on conversations to gain intel.
Gregory Arthur, famous broadcaster. I don't know, I sort of lost track of him in the crowd, but he's probably working in the movie set by London's Tower.
I only play most levels once, cause for me, the novelty of a level wears off after completing a level once. But it offers enough secret parts and shortcuts within the level for any skilled player to take advantage of, be it novice or veteran. The level features 3 targets, but it adds a really cool wrinkle with you having to identify one of the targets, the Maelstrom, who has randomized characteristics and clothes every time you replay it. He wears a tank top if you see him in the tea shops, or he wears a jacket if you see him in the hideouts. He wears a pink shirt if you spot him near the sewers. Having different clothes and characteristics makes it harder for the player to deduce his identity, but if you explore enough, the game gives you enough clues to figure out his identity. If you listen to this guy up here, he'll always say that he's got a picture of the Maelstrom to sell.
And get this, I took his picture, Bharat.
Which makes you think and change your plans on the fly. The other 2 are the rulers of Mumbai Underground, called Vanya Shah and Dawood Rangan. Vanya Shah never leaves the train yard unless you set up a meeting outside the house on the beach. Dawood Rangan sticks to the high-rise building, doing his routine of posing for a painter and walking up and down in the same building. So these targets have their own action loops until you interfere with them in a story mission, which are opportunities that are revealed to 47 every time he's in vicinity. These 2 guys will have a chat about a suspicious man who sounds like an assassin. He's the Kashmirian hired by Vanya to kill Rangan. This story mission is quite interesting as it lets you kill all 3 targets in the most stealthy way without getting your hands dirty. If you sneak into the Kashmirian's apartment, you can adjust the scope of the sniper rifle to kill Rangan. And if you pretend to be the foreman, you can lure Vanya out in the open to give the Kashmirian a better vantage point. And if you follow the assassin after, you can disguise yourself as him to kill the Maelstrom himself. These actions require you to understand the level and think on your feet to get the kills. If you do cock up the mission somewhere, you don't fail the mission entirely, but you'll suffer from some setbacks. So the level designs of most Hitman levels are often divided into 6 categories, as defined by IO as either biomes or areas, which have different fields and functions. There's the public open spaces, where the player gets to freely roam and get their bearings of the situation. There's public purpose spaces. These present 47 with the story missions like the tailor who has a meeting with Vanya Shah. There's public rule locations. These are privately owned establishments like the tailor shop and the tenement houses in the chawls. Private spaces are like the lower floors of the high-rise block. Professional spaces are restricted areas that usually require disguises like the train yard or the construction site or the crow's hideout. Personal spaces are when you're alone with the target, like the inside of a train car or alone in a room. These rules encourage you to explore the level layout as you navigate the labyrinth with escalating challenges in the forms of guards or enforcers, who are other NPCs who can see through your disguise. Hints like the missing lever or missing rat poison nudge you to think and scheme your plans on the go. You can dress up as an extra, lure Rangan to the top and boot him off the tower. Or you can blow him away by turning up the fan speed on the movie set. These skills take considerable effort to execute, And that's where the thrill of being an assassin comes from, in my point of view. Most of these kills can be achieved through story missions, which are opportunities for the player to take advantage of and take out the target. But these mostly tend to fail if you don't think on your feet or figure out the multi-level social stealth to get to the personal space. And sometimes are even on a timer. Like the Kashmirian will meet the Maelstrom if you don't catch him in time before his meeting. Other wrinkles, like if you don't identify the Maelstrom first, you'd have a hard time telling who he is if you disguise yourself as the barber. Or if you don't dress as Vanya's servant, you'd miss out on poisoning her beverage. The excitement of the game comes from you using distractions to take out guards or other workers and navigating the level to figure out the most satisfying way to get the kill. And the game facilitates you with huge range of states in terms of failure. You don't immediately fail a level if you're spotted. There's a state of being identified as suspicious, or the NPCs warn you if you're somewhere you're not supposed to be. If you do get caught, you have a couple of moments to fake surrender and take them out or get out of sight. This puts you in a searching or a hunted mode depending on how far you take it. You can still get back to being anonymous if you change your disguise or get rid of any evidence of your mischiefs. This allows the player to plan and execute their schemes in a wider range of possibilities without having to reload a save or restart a mission, although the game does encourage you to replay them for high scores or unlockables. Like this one time, I snuck into the train yard, but I wasn't in the right disguise to take out Vanya, which botched my assassination attempt, but I was able to set things back to the original state and execute my other plans. IO also has elusive targets in the same maps that you've played the whole game, and now know the levels like the back of your head, which adds more complexity as you don't see them in the instinct mode. They can only be done once in any way, and if you fail, you can't play them ever again. This raises the stakes and makes you really consider every step you take, which actually makes you become the titular 47 in your mind. Hitman lets you create your own fun and stories, but also lets you see the consequences of your actions in a large, open-ended level like Mumbai. Hey, thanks for watching, subscribe to support my channel and like the video if you did. Cheer.